We welcome you back inside Wildcat Arena as we get ready for Holy Spirit Prep out of Georgia and Lower Richland out of Hopkins, the Columbia, South Carolina area. Joel Hillsman, Barry Browner, Sylvester Williams, glad that you're with us as we are in the perch. Holy Spirit will be in the gold tops, gold bottoms, green numbers, and green trim. Lower Richland, they will be all in white tops, white bottoms, black numbers, and gold trim. The starting lineup for Lower Richland, it'll be Christian Brown, number 2, number 3, Corey Richardson, number 11, Carl Scott, number 15, Kelvin Hughes, and number 44, Ernest Thompson. For Holy Spirit, it will be number 1, Mikashele Jeremiah, number 5, Anthony Edwards, number 20, Kamani Johnson, number 22, Giorgio Massin Melenkov, and number 32, Budka Perkisvili. This starting lineup, we got to see this Holy Spirit bunch. They'll be the visiting team. Holy Spirit coming in now at 3-4, losses to McEachern, Norcross, Langston Hughes, and Westtown, Pennsylvania. Lower Richland coming in 4-5. They are the 4A defending state champs. They defeated the runner-ups in 2A Keenan to open the season, but have lost 2 in a row. Go inside and a turnover immediately out of bounds, and the possession will remain with Holy Spirit.
One thing you're going to see from this Holy Spirit team, you're going to see a lot of Anthony Edwards. You're going to see a lot of DePaul commit, Georgie Mazakov. Way to start off by Holy Spirit.
Kamani Johnson with the hoop. 2-0.
Now on the other side with this Lower Richland team, that guy who has the ball down there, Christian Brown, number 2, he's going to be one to watch out for.
Christian Brown, number 2, coming over from AC Florella. Well, they were a South Carolina state champ. Brown currently 21.3 points per game on the season. Highly regarded, not only in the Carolina, Columbia area, but also in the country. There's a jump shot, no good. It's front of iron, rebound comes down to Anthony Edwards. Edwards going to push it in transition. Gets it up ahead. Jeremiah going to go all the way, flip it up, no, and a blocking foul call, and Jeremiah will go to the free throw line with 7:13 to go. Brown picks up the foul, his first, team first.
Brown was one of those kids who's been ranked ever since he was probably in the 8th grade. Comes from a long lineage of athletes. His uncle Michael was a running back for University of South Carolina Gamecocks. His mom wasn't too shabby either. All-state basketball player at Columbia High.
Free throw good. Christian Brown, 2016 All-State as a sophomore, as he led AC Florella to the championship. Came over now to Lower Richland. Was able to go to AC Florella because AC Florella has open enrollment, but after winning the state championship there, some things happened at home, so he needed to go to school closer to home, and Lower Richland is where he went. So now Lower Richland operating. Here's Brown. Brown puts it on the floor. Stop. There's a pull-up jumper. It is short, no good. Anthony Edwards has it. Header steam down court. Edwards going to go all the way. Dunked it home. Anthony Edwards on the break.
Act up. Act up, Anthony Edwards.
Seriously. 6-0 now. And a steal. Edwards goes in. He got fouled again. Carl Scott picks up the foul.
Let me tell you something. I saw this Holy Spirit team last week against Norcross. Really like Georgie, but this Anthony Edwards might be, and we'll talk about this, one of the best players in that 2020 class along with Sharif Cooper.
Free throw. Edwards rolled in good.
And you're right. And what I like about him, he's so athletic. But him going to the hole and dunking like that, there's so many kids who can dunk, but how many kids actually want to dunk on somebody? That's what kind of separates, you from being a good player to a great player.
Turn left onto Holt Road Northeast. Your destination will be on the left.
Free throw by Edwards. Back iron, no. Rebound soared in and gotten now by Tavon Hughes, who checks in. Higgins, who checked in. 7-0. So Lower Richland still looking for their first hoop. Brown between the legs. Brown driving a swooping score and layup down the lane. Christian Brown, his first field goal.
At 6'7", Christian Brown's a tweener. He can play a little bit of the 2, can probably play a little bit of the 3 a little bit. But like I said, consider one of the top guys in his class, too, not only in South Carolina but in the country.
There's a jump hook by Johnson, no good. Rebound comes off. Georgia had it taken away. The steal coming up by Corey Richardson. Richardson off to Brown. Brown on the break, dunked it home. Christian Brown, back-to-back field goals. He's caught them both in the paint, 7-4. Holy Spirit with the lead on Lower Richland. Lower Richland out of Hopkins, South Carolina. That's the Columbia area. Holy Spirit out of Atlanta, Georgia. Coming, swooping across, jump hook, good. Giorgio Malenkov with the jump hook.
And I love that post part of his game. You know, he can play with his back to the basket, but he can also step out and shoot that jumper. I love the game that this young man has.
Drive, lost it. Edwards comes away with it, and he was fouled. Foul will be called on Tavon Higgins. Higgins now off the bench and quickly now gets another foul.
Be interesting to see. Joe, what do you see the keys as this game gets going?
Does Lower Richland have enough to help Christian Brown? Because Brown and Edwards going to cancel out each other. There goes Edwards driving and swooping and scoring. He has 5 in the contest. And does Holy Spirit has to stay out of foul trouble. There's a steal by Richardson. Richardson tried to save it, and it will go out of bounds.
And Lower Richland, they can't turn the ball over like that. Not against this team.
No.
Not against this Holy Spirit squad, who's been battle tested. If you look at some of the games they've played,
very battle tested, and they only got 8 people. So I mean, they can't get in foul trouble. We know Edwards. We know Christian Brown. Those are the headliners. Those two are going to cancel out each other.
But you know, me and you always had this conversation. What if this Holy Spirit team was in private A basketball right now?
Private 1A. I mean, they're still a contender.
Can they win it?
No, they're not deep enough. Only 8 players, and as we saw earlier today in this own gym, when the fouls get to racking up, you get thin.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think they're in the finals in the 1A private school ball right now. I really like St. Francis, that young St. Francis team, but I think they're just so much bigger than everybody else in 1A. That same big, that sort of what Green Forest used to have, well, not quite as big as Green Forest, but still, they're bigger than everybody, and they're just – those 8 that they have are so talented.
I apologize. It's 10 total that they brought. Did Holy Spirit.
Well, there you go. 10. That's all you need.
But only 8 play.
Only 8 play. There's a drive. Shot blocked by Giorgio. In the middle. Floated. It is short. Giorgio bothered that shot mentally. Great hands from Marcus Burnett. Saved that Adidas ball down there that we're playing with. Inbound now. Higgins looks, and goes deeply into the back and taken over by Carl Scott. Lower Richland in the white tops, white bottoms, black numbers and gold trim. Glad that you're with us wherever you are. The SUV TV, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your desktop, or even on your TV. And thank you in Columbia, South Carolina and the surrounding area for checking out your Midland squad. Scott, a 3. No. Rebound comes down to Masson Malenkov. Malenkov gives it to Edwards. Edwards now gets it up ahead to Jeremiah. Jeremiah put it on the floor. Ball was knocked away. No whistle. And now here comes Christian Brown back this way. 11-4. Holy Spirit with the lead. Going to drive. Dump it off in the middle. Richardson layup good. Corey Richardson on the break.
Good finish by Richardson on that break. And maybe that's what Lower Richmond got to do to have a chance to actually beat this Holy Spirit squad. Just run them.
11-6 now. Getting up is Quentin Flood. Flood getting up off the bench. There's a 3-ball. Jeremiah, high arcer, badly missed. It hit the top of the backboard and in the basket support and goes out of bounds.
You know, it's funny you said Lower Richland needs to run. I was talking to the assistant coach, Aaron, down there for Lower Richland before the start of the game, and he said that's one thing that they're going to have to do. They're faster than Holy Spirit, and they do need to run.
Brown, 3, no good. Tipped out of bounds off of Lower Richland. It will go over now to Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit now going to the bench. Miles Wallace. And I apologize for saying his name was Wallace Miles last week. That's how he was listed in the information that we had, and that's how he was listed in the scorebook. So I apologize to the Wallace family. It is Miles Wallace. Spins it to the right. Long 3. Edwards, hill of the rim. No. Rebound. Tipped, knocked out of bounds. Holy Spirit. They're really comfortable with the bookkeeping. They only put the first names in. And talking to one of the fine bookkeepers there at Norcross last week, and she did their book for them to show it how it should be done. But I guess they know it's going to be those 5, and that's what it's going to be. Offensive foul called, 11-6, 2:51 to go. There's a drive, not there. Now spins it back to the top, and now here comes Corey Richardson. Richardson between the rings. He's picked up by Jeremiah. Goes baseline, stop, short corner jumper block. Brown gets it and dunks it home with authority. Christian Brown now with 6 points in the contest, averaging 21.3 on the season. Last year as a sophomore at AC Florella, he averaged 16.3.
Really like Christian Brown's length. And like I said, his ability to do several things. Shoot it a little bit and just stretch the defense out and go inside and out, score.
Substitution now. Ernest Thompson will check in. Ernest Thompson, number 44 in white, 11-8. Holy Spirit has led from the beginning. So checking in now will be Bobchuk. Denny Bobchuk.
That's my favorite name, Bobchuk.
Our guy Ryan on the PA just said number 21. AC Flora. Flora, Florella, whatever, AC.
Those are fighting words back home in the Metro. You got to make sure you say AC Flora right.
Flora, Florella. Okay.
Home of the X-Man, David McDaniel.
Go ahead with Giorgio Masson-Melenkov.
Well, you got to get the simple ones right.
So now there's a drive on the baseline. Up, flipped into the scoring as he came down the left lane. Amon King with the hoop. 11-10, so a nice little 6-0 run here by Lower Richland. They come back and fall into a zone defense.
And they're gonna dare this Holy Spirit team to shoot them out that zone.
Blocking foul called by Ernest Thompson. Never want to see a big man get that blocking call. Goes up. Miles Wallace draws it. Substitutions now, and here comes Michael Mead off the bench for Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit Prep Cougars and the Lower Richland Diamonds. Coach Caleb Gaither, the head coach. A 3-ball now for Mekaliah Jeremiah.
Nice, strong move, grown man move by Christian Brown on that.
Brown now filling it up. He has 8 in this first quarter. Stop. Gonna lean through. Off the window. No. Back up and in. No. Up. No. Goodness. Kamani Johnson doing the heavy lifting. He has 4 points.
Way to stay with it by Kamani Johnson on the finish.
16-12. 48 seconds. Now stops in the corner, back over to Christian Brown. Brown now going to jab step, going to put it on the floor with a crossover dribble and a reach-in foul call by Anthony Edwards. Edwards went reaching. He thought he was quick enough to get it. Christian Brown really worked that crossover on him and drew the foul with 39 seconds.
And that might be too early on Anthony Edwards.
It is 2 fouls. Edwards takes a seat now. He's going to get an additional blow, but also because of that second foul. 16-12. Around the screen. Here comes Rice, a 3-ball out of the corner. Higgins, no. Rebound. Good rebound there by Kamani Johnson. Johnson will bring it up the side on the left side with 24 seconds. They spin it to the right corner. Jeremiah holds it. Now he flips it in. Johnson pump fake up, dumps it over. There's a jumper by Bobchuk. No good. Bobchuk couldn't get the rebound, and now there's a whistle on the floor. Greg McClare, the head coach of this Holy Spirit Prep group. They are a GISA school. That's Georgia Independent School Association. So when you heard us talking about whether they could compete in Georgia at the 1A level, that's what we were talking about. You know, in South Carolina, you've got the Shizzle, SCHSL, and then you've got the SCI-CAA. Multiple divisions, some more well-known than others. GHSA is the biggest in Georgia. HSL is the biggest in South Carolina. He walked. Jumper is no good. Rebound is going to come down. Bobchuk gets the board. And we are at the end of the first quarter. So Christian Brown had him a strong 8-point first quarter. Lower Richland, though, trailing 16-12 to Holy Spirit right here. You're watching the Tournament of Champions on SUV TV.
of being a leader.
Because I like to punish people.
I think the big thing is just taking the right shot.
Just to embarrass people.
I'm a beast.
Do my thing whenever I'm put on someone's neck.
My adults will be the best in 4 years.
Introducing Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Sports Motion Analysis, powered by Dartfish, giving parents and young athletes frame-by-frame feedback on how to minimize injury and maximize performance. Upload your videos, visit our clinic, or let our specialists come to you. No matter the sport you play, Children's helps young athletes take their game to the next level.
Out of the timeout and the quarter change, Joe Hillsman, Sylvester Williams, Barry Browner here with you. Lower Richland and Holy Spirit Prep. Lower Richland out of South Carolina. Holy Spirit Prep out of Atlanta, Georgia. The jumper is good, a 3-ball. Routed it right on down the milk crate. Quentin Flood with a 3-ball, 16-15.
Yeah, Quentin's one of those freshmen that the Diamonds are going to really need to rely on. They really want to rely on that young man.
In the corner, drives, baseline, shovels it off. Got to get out of the paint, 3 second, not being called. Ball knocked away. Kamani Johnson recovers it. Gives it up to Anthony Edwards. Edwards going to come up the right side. Edwards going to hesitate with a nice move and drive with the left hand. No. Tip followed by Masson Collenboff. No good. Masson Malenkov, could not get that tip to follow. Giorgio. Inbound, he's wide open. Pass was tipped though. Recovered. Here comes Miles Wallace and he scores.
Way to stay with it by Miles Wallace. And just having a chance to watch Anthony Edwards just moving up and down the floor, man. He's fluent. Fluent guy that just knows how to score the basketball.
Edwards a 3, routed it right on down the milk crate. Anthony Edwards with his 8th point. 3-ball is good. 21-15, 6:20 to go.
Good shot by Edwards. And Lower Richland's got to do something right here. They've got to get a bucket.
Driving, it was deflected up out of bounds off of Holy Spirit.
At this point, down 6, I'll probably be looking to my star, my guy Christian Brown right here to get us going and get a bucket.
One thing about Holy Spirit is playing this zone defense, and the jump shots aren't there. It's a lot of stagnant. They're not passing and cutting, just trying to break down that zone. A lot of standing around from the Lower Richland offense.
Christian Brown going to drive, float it up. He was fouled and will go to the free throw line. Giorgio Maslenikov upset at himself, Giorgio. And Christian Brown now will go to the free throw line. Brown with 8 points in the contest, 4 of them, all 4 field goals coming in that first quarter. Free throw left it short. Lower Richland has lost to Porter-God, Keenan twice, Gray Collegiate, and Blythewood. All of those are Carolina schools. And Porter-God, as you know, has the wonderful star in Austin Naismith.
You know, there's no such thing as a good loss, but, you know, those are some quality programs. Perennial state champion Keenan. Blythewood made it to the finals last year, the 5A finals last year. Porter-God has some of the top players in the state. You know, you would love to beat some of those teams, but they hadn't lost any Sisters of the Poor.
But I don't think Holy Spirit has either, though.
No, Holy Spirit has not lost it. They lost to number 5 or number 10 team in the nation. Depends on how you look at it. Another strong Norcross team they lost to. Number 2 in the GA Hoop Circle, Georgia Hoop Circle poll.
A steal on the break. Lower Richland. Oh, nice dunk. Way to send that thing home. Tatum McConnor. Tatum McConnor with the dunk, 21-18. Holy Spirit, though, still has that 3-point lead. 2.5 gone by. Long three, Anthony Edwards, a three, his second three. Edwards now in double figures. He has 11.
Anthony Edwards with the long three ball. And I'm gonna say something, Joe. You're an NBA guy. You know who Anthony Edwards reminds me of? You ready?
Let's see. Currently?
Yeah. It's gonna surprise you.
Who?
ISO Joe.
ISO Joe.
I can see that.
He reminds me of Joe Johnson.
Hey, Joe Johnson. I think I hate that nickname for Joe Johnson, but yeah, I can see that.
Joe, one of my favorite players. So.
He gets credited for just doing his job. There's a long three. Good. Miles Wallace, a three ball. Holy Spirit now beginning to knock in some triples, and you look up, and there's a 9-point lead. Here's Richardson. Richardson spins it to Higgins. Higgins over, now go down. Christian Brown now has taken a seat for Lower Richland. Hicks has it. Goes into the backcourt, now going to drive, kick it into the corner, not there. Higgins, a traveling violation.
Lower Richland looks like they're kind of lost a little bit, and like I said, they're struggling. And as much as they're struggling, you got Edwards, you got guys hitting threes. Like I said, that's going to be a problem. They cannot afford to get down to this Holy Spirit squad. I just kind of look like they're struggling offensively, defensively, everything. The only thing really has been Christian Brown.
Yeah, a lot of people said it would be a rebuilding year for Lower Richland. They lost Clyde Trapp. He's playing up at Clemson now. They're all-world player, Clyde Trapp. And life has been tough for the Diamond Hornets.
Foul on the screening roll, so Holy Spirit will be going to the line. Holy Spirit with a 27-18 lead with 4:28 to go here. In this second quarter, Joel Hillsman, Barry Brown, and Sylvester Williams, our second showcase game here of the Tournament of Champions. First free throw is no good from Wildcat Arena. On the perch, the corner perch, the old NBA Live 95 viewpoint is what we have. No good. Rebound is going to come off. And here comes Lower Richland back this way with Quentin Flood. Flood with the left-hand dribble. Now gives it down low on that block. There's Hicks. Hicks looks, it's not there. Hicks now going to spin it over. And now here's Higgins, oh man, drives in and out, no, rebound, ripped down by Giorgio. And now here's Jeremiah up ahead to Anthony Edwards. Edwards stops in transition, a three, no good, rebound by Giorgio, kicks it back, Jeremiah stops a long three, it's online, it's no good. And a whistle called on the rebound, let's see. Center official calls it. It'll be on Lower Richland. The foul called on Tatum McConnor.
And they got to get Christian Brown's getting back in the game. They got to get him back in the game. Holy Spirit's getting too many second chance opportunities at the basket.
And also coming in now will be Stanley Cheeseborough. Stanley Cheeseborough, number 14 in white, when they allow him to come in. Not going to allow him to come in just yet. Now they will allow him to come in. Sylvester, you're from the Midlands. The Cheeseborough family.
Long line of Cheeseboroughs in the Midlands. Every Richland District 1 school has a Cheeseborough in them. It's one clan you don't want to upset.
The name though, Cheeseborough. That's interesting in itself.
It is a long line of those guys, man. Every school in Richland District 1 has at least 2 Cheeseboroughs.
27-18. Free throw was no good. 3:45 to go. So Lower Richland working on offense. Pass was knocked away. Holy Spirit has been in control from the beginning. Lower Richland has not had the lead in this contest. And they play back and forth. Give it to Christian Brown. Brown on a cut now to Richardson. Richardson had it knocked away. And Ant-Man, as they call him, Anthony Edwards, comes away with it. And he gives it over now to Miles Wallace. Wallace up to Edwards. Edwards one dribble, spins it to the corner. Stop. There's a 3-ball. It is off. No good. Rebound is back tap, tip, and now Lower Richland can't come away with it. Picked up by Bobchuk. Bobchuk gonna go up, layup good, counted and the foul. Jeremiah.
But how did they get that, fellas? Hustle and extra possessions. Giorgio gets a tip out. Somebody else gets another play. Bam, boom, bucket.
Pebblebrook head coach George Washington sitting front row behind the baseline. One of the rare arenas that has 4 seating on 4 sides. Capacity right at about 3,000 here at Wildcat Arena. Second year of this arena. Could not complete the 3-point play. 29-18. We go under 3 minutes to go. Spin it to the top. Cheeseborough. Pass shot the lane by Johnson. Johnson on the break. Slam dunk. Kamani Johnson has 6 points.
Good hands by Kamani Johnson on the finish and the dunk.
Christian Brown, hair waving, jumper to the elbow, good. Went right to the elbow, knew exactly where he wanted to go, got to his spot and put it in. He has 11 in the contest. Holy Spirit calls a timeout. Let's check it and see if it's going to be a full. No, it's going to be called by Lower Richland. It is an 11-point game. It is a 30-second timeout, 2:34 to go. You're watching SUV TV coverage of the Tournament of Champions. Edwards, the 5 on the floor for Holy Spirit. Pass tip, maybe a turnover. It will be. A steal. Coming away with it is Carl Scott. Scott gets it up ahead. There's a drive, take the contact. He was fouled. Kelvin Hughes into the contest. He actually started the contest, but now he'll go to the free throw line. With 2:18 to go, Lower Richland trailing by 11, and quite frankly, they've been behind the whole game, Barry.
Pretty much so. Just seems like they just haven't found a way to put 2 to 3 possessions scoring-wise together. Can't do that against Holy Spirit.
You know, Holy Spirit is a well-trained, well-disciplined defensive team also. You know, you see all the highlights with Edwards scoring and dunking on people and shooting threes, but they play a well-disciplined team defense. It's hard to get past some of those long arms out there from Holy Spirit.
Split the free throws. There's a drive up. No good. So Hughes split those free throws, 31-21. Offensive foul called on Jeremiah. His first and the team second. So Holy Spirit with 17 fouls. Lower Richland with 8. As we approach the 2-minute mark. Give it to Christian Brown. Brown worked on by Michael Mead, who gets spot duty off of the Holy Spirit bench. Brown trying to put him in the mixer now. Spins it back to the left. They spin it on the corner. There's a long left corner 3. Amon Rice got the roll. Amon Rice living right, a 3-pointer. 31-24. That 10-point lead slashed to 7 now. Edwards comes up the left side with the left-hand dribble. Kept it. Jumper. Short. Rebound, hit the floor, picked up, and here comes Hughes. Hughes over to Christian Brown. Brown on the break. Oh, I thought he did it on purpose. He lost the grip on it out of bounds. A turnover by Christian Brown.
Brown just a little bit too much. Like I said, trying to cut this lead down 7, trying to cut this lead up. Get a solid defense right here and see if they can hold for the last possible.
So Giorgio missed the jump hook and then coming back and they tip it out of bounds. Lower Richland now has possession. Side out of bounds, 31-24 with 65 seconds to go. Amon Rice, the trigger man now for Lower Richland. He gives it over to Christian Brown with 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go in this first half. A first half dominated by Holy Spirit Prep, the Cougars. Brown turns, fires the three. No. Rebound ripped down by Meade. Meade using his minutes well off the bench. Jeremiah back in transition and a foul call.
You know,
I'm sorry. Holy Spirit looked like they were trying to play a little zone right there to just kind of rest guys a little bit. Gonna try to force Lower Richmond into a jump shot, a bad jump shot at that, which they took, and now we're at the free throw line.
You know, one thing I love about them dropping back into that zone, Christian Brown, the play before, Christian Brown, 2 possessions before, took his man one-on-one and hit that elbow jumper, and then Holy Spirit went straight to the zone.
Kamani Johnson foul. Holy Spirit missed the free throw, but we're able to get the steal. Now can't finish that, so Kamani Johnson will head back to the free throw line.
This Holy Spirit squad just continues to just battle on the glass. And like I said, Lower Richmond fighting to get back in the game, been down, and I'll be honest with you, and I look at frustration on Joe's face. If Holy Spirit hits a couple of free throws, they're probably up 20 at this point.
The free throw shooting has been atrocious here for Holy Spirit, and it continues. They have not made a free throw here in this second quarter, 0 of 5. And that's as a team. Kamani Johnson, that was his first miss. It's becoming, they talk about the mid-range jumper. The free throw is becoming a lost art. 8-point game, 32-24.
We saw some of that earlier in the first game.
It was that game was so defensively contested. Get that shot out of here. Sent away, out of bounds.
Giorgio.
Giorgio doing it. Giorgio Masin Malakoff with the block. Inbound, almost coming on a 5 count, has to throw it into the backcourt with 22 and 3/10 seconds. He chases it down, does Kelvin Hughes. Hughes now will take his time and come up the floor across the timeline. Final shot time coming for Lower Richland. Now gives it to Brown. Brown gonna drive, out of control, offensive foul, Christian Brown. He wanted his head down, and he did. He put his head down, second foul, so him and Anthony Edwards each have 2. 32-24. Holy Spirit Prep, and now they're gonna give Christian Brown an extended blow. He'll get this plus the halftime, but it has not been a fluid first half at all for Lower Richland. Here comes Jeremiah. Jeremiah coming up on the clock, and he was fouled on the floor. Lower Richland, a poor foul decision there with 1.2 seconds to go.
I'm going to be objective on that, though, fellas. I don't know if that was more of a foul or more of it. I saw a lot of free arm, and we've been seeing that for the last 2 weeks as far as with the free arm. We saw some in the game before as well.
Ball rolls off. Holy Spirit in this second quarter, 1 of 7 from the free throw line. 2 of 8. Split them. 33-24, and that will be the end of the first half. So Holy Spirit, really, the score may be a little closer than it indicates. It is a 9-point game, 33-24, Holy Spirit Prep out of Atlanta, Georgia, leading Lower Richland, the Diamonds, out of the Hopkins, Columbia, South Carolina area. SUV TV's coverage of the Tournament of Champions will continue on the other side of this break.
Introducing Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Sports Motion Analysis, powered by Dartfish, giving parents and young athletes frame-by-frame feedback on how to minimize injury and maximize performance. Upload your videos, visit our clinic, or let our specialists come to you. No matter the sport you play, Children's helps young athletes take their game to the next level.
Just love.
I'm a beast.
Do my thing. Whatever I'm putting
The best in 4 years.
Joel Hilsman, Sylvester Williams, Barry Browner back here with you live. We're in the Perch at Wildcat Arena on the campus of Wheeler High School. Glad that you are with us wherever you are. Mobile, laptop, desktop, tablet, or even on your TV. It is SUV TV's coverage of the Tournament of Champions here on SUV TV. Holy Spirit with the lead. They're in the possession, 33-24. Down low and a flop. No. Offensive foul called on Kamani Johnson. So Johnson picks up his first foul, and that'll be the team's first foul. We look there at the first half stats. It was 11 points for Anthony Edwards and 11 points for Kristen Brown. Basically, they did the heavy lifting. Jeremiah had 8, and then Maslinikov had 7. Kamani Johnson had 7. But Kristen Brown, of course, you can tell that he's a ball player, Barry, but overall needs more help from this Lower Richland bunch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think that Brown is a talent, but like I said, I don't know. Too much heavy lifting for one guy to do.
Long three, no good. Rebound. Giorgio could not save it. It goes out of bounds. Holy Spirit shot 46% from the field in that first half compared to Lower Richland's 40%. Back-to-back 12-point quarters there for Lower Richland. 11 points, as I mentioned, by Christian Brown. So in the corner, here's Corey Richardson. Richardson going to go across the lane, scoop it up with the right hand. It's not close. Giorgio gets the rebound. Maslinikov. And a drive by Johnson up, and he was fouled. Hit hammered hard by Hicks.
Let's see if one thing I want to look for in this second half, fellas, is Holy Spirit, can continue to improve their free throw. They can improve their free throw shooting, and on cue, they can't.
Welcome. When you start making them kind of mistakes, that means you're watching a lot of ball. Love it. Johnson split the free throw, but excellent point, though. They get their first point there to make it 34-24. There's a 10-point lead, which has been their largest, but it feels like it has been larger. Doesn't feel like a 10-point lead. Feels a lot larger. Christian Brown, offensive foul. They didn't call it, and he scored. He has 2 fouls. They let that one go. Christian Brown, first field goal, brings it back to an 8-point contest, 34-26. So Johnson will bring it up the right side with the right-hand dribble. Picks up the dribble. Now looks, no one's coming to help the ball. There's Anthony Edwards. Edwards going to drive. He lost it. Offensive foul. Yeah, he did, because he lost the dribble, and as he lost the dribble with the left hand, he extended that right hand. He was going to try and dunk it and couldn't do it. The Brooks squad is in the building. Pebblebrook and Shiloh coming up next.
Referees are calling a lot of that, though. I'm starting to see a lot of that call lately.
Yeah, that was one of the things the referees talked about in their summer meetings. They were going to put an emphasis on that shielding, that little forearm shiver. A lot of kids have been getting away with that for a long time.
Lower Richland. No one is creating offensively for them at the moment. Below the foul line, they kick it back out now. And here's Kelvin Hughes. Hughes between the rings. 2 minutes gone by, third quarter. There's a drive, not there. Kicks it back to the top. Here's Christian Brown. Brown to the free throw line. A jumper. It spins off. No. Richardson rebound underneath. Goes back up and got the roll. Corey Richardson now with 4 points in the contest.
Way to stay with it for Corey Richardson.
You know, even though Lower Richland scored on that possession, the offense is just real stagnant. There's no plays being ran. There's no cutters coming across. You know, you have to move. Right now, Holy Spirit is playing man-to-man. So let's go ahead, ISO Christian Brown, let him work off a pick, let somebody else back cut, something. Let's get some movement out there for the Diamond Hornets.
I don't know if this Lower Richmond team is trying to lull you to sleep or not. I mean, it's just I don't know.
Did you have to find yourself waking up?
Yeah, a little.
Okay.
Have that head nod going on up here. Pick the head up real quick.
34-28, 5:31 to go. He's Barry Browner, Sylvester Williams. I'm Joel Hilsman. Glad that you're with us. SUV TV's coverage of the Tournament of Champions. There's a drive all the way. Jeremiah flying to the hoop and scores. 36-28 in the corner. Lefty, a three. Air ball, no good. Rebound, they fight for it. Giorgio lost it, spins back. Anthony Edwards with the block on Carl Scott. There's another whistle. It's out of bounds, and the possession will go to Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, really, though, even though it's an 8-point game, it just feels like they're in total, full control.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, this looks like, it feels like a 15 to 20 point game, and it just, I just don't know. Like I said, this Lower Richmond team, my first time really seeing them play like that, live and in living color. Seen them on film a little bit, but it's Christian Brown in the mirror.
What he tell him? He say, "Shut up, Otis. They ain't come to see you."
I'm with you.
But you know what? The reason it feels like it should be such a bigger game is because of free throws right here. If Holy Spirit hits half of their free throws, you got a 15-point game or a 17-point game right now. But Holy Spirit has missed so many free throws.
Makes 2 in a row there. They're 3 or 4. Johnson is in the third quarter. It pushes the lead back out to 10, 38-28. And Lower Richland just cannot get out of the 20s. 2 points scored so far here, or 4 points scored so far here in this third quarter.
And there ain't no rush to score right here either.
And Holy Spirit dropped right back to that zone. Nope.
That's what they were waiting for, to get Brown the ball. He gets it, and he's fouled by Kamani Johnson.
And he was starting to get a little, I don't know if y'all saw him, but he was starting to get a little frustrated because one time he got the ball. He was at the block. He needed that ball on the block. Finally, he decided, they won't give it to me on the block. Let me come out and get it at the top of the key.
And still in transition. Here comes Holy Spirit all the way. Foul as Miles Wallace went flying to the hoop.
And see, right now with Christian Brown on the other side on the offense, begging for it on the block, it's not coming to him like that. So he has to work off a pick away from the ball. If they really want to get him the ball, you have to be creative in finding ways to get your scorer the ball if you really want to let him get the ball.
Miles Wallace at the free throw line, and he missed them both. The missed free throws, especially from the guards, very troubling. 4:07 to go. Reverse, no. Rebound going to come down, and here comes Kamani Johnson. Johnson can put it on the floor, in the open floor. Johnson all the way up with the right hand. It rolled in, Kamani Johnson. It's good, and Holy Spirit has blown it wide open. They lead by 12 now with 3:55 to go. And a timeout call, and this one, no timeout. I apologize. It'll be Lower Richland's basketball. Amon Rice will be inbounding it. So Rice, Hughes, Brown, Scott, and Jordan Rivers, the 5 on the floor for Lower Richland. The Diamond Hornets. The Diamonds. Up against the Cougars of Holy Spirit. HSP. 3 ball. No good. Edwards gets the rebound. 3.5 to go, third quarter. Edwards to the foul line. There's the jumper. It's good. Anthony Edwards, smooth. He has 13.
I like how he's displaying all 3 levels of his game right here. He had a couple of dunks early to start off the game. He hit I think he hit 2 3-pointers, and now he has that little nice mid-range shot.
14-point lead, largest of the day. Brown, elbow, catches, fires, turns, and fading away. It is short. Johnson gets the rebound. Outlet, here comes Edwards. Edwards work, faked up by Brown. He goes right by him, to the lane, up and no. He went up with the left hand, upsetting himself because he didn't finish. But he has a trip going to the free throw line, where he is on the day 1 of 1. Anthony Edwards, the sophomore.
Just nice, smooth, Sly said it earlier, nice, smooth, fluid game. can't wait to see how he develops. Like I said, receiving major entrance offers from several Division I schools.
15-point lead at 2:56, going for 16, which would be the largest lead of the day. In and out. No good. Another missed free throw as a team.
And it kind of looks like this team they realize that this Holy Spirit, this Lower Richmond team can't really shoot the basketball, so they're just going to drop back and play a little zone. And
this one a 1-3-1 variety, so they're protecting the wings as well. Hughes puts it on the floor. Now going to go baseline, flip it up in a foul. Amon Rice went baseline and drew the foul, so he'll be going to the free throw line. Amon Rice has 5 points in the contest. With 2:34 to go in the third quarter, a 15-point Holy Spirit lead.
And, that's one of the great things about having Georgie Mazenkoff down there in the lane, being such a great rim protector. Because, if they can throw a quick pump fake on the wing and make it to the inside, you still got a big beast down there to protect the rim. Great job by the big man just getting up there blocking some shots.
Oh, tough call. Kamani Johnson trying to get the rebound, just took too many steps.
Free throw shooting contagious. 2:32 to go. Here's Christian Brown. Two, 3 zone defense almost now. Here's Brown to the foul line. The jumper, front iron, no. Rebound hits the floor. Offensive rebound now for Lower Richland. In the corner, Rice, a 3-ball. Long, Brown couldn't get the board. Back up, Richardson had it blocked away by Meade. Meade now gets it up ahead. Here's Anthony Edwards. Edwards up ahead to Johnson. Johnson, one dribble, going to attack. Off the window, no. Tip, follow, good. A follow made by Denny Bumpchuck. His first field goal.
And like I said, Lower Richmond, we keep harping on this. They just can't find a way to score at this point. Down 45-28.
Scored 4 points in the previous 6.5 minutes.
And something else I'm noticing about Lower Richland, it doesn't seem like anyone else is demanding the ball or even wants to shoot the ball when they have it. If Brown's your scorer, Brown's your leader, somebody else has to decide to be Robin to his Batman, and nobody wants to step up and claim that role.
Here's Edwards. Edwards backing down. Edwards turning the fade. No. We'll give him an assist on that one. To Denny Bumpchuck. Bumpchuck with his second field goal, and the lead now expands out to 20. (47-28), final minute of the third quarter. A 19-point lead for Holy Spirit. Christian Brown goes up and he's fouled on the shot, so he will shoot free throws. Each team with still a couple of fouls to give. That foul will be on Anthony Edwards. Edwards is kind of a quiet night. He has 14. Christian Brown has 13. Well, Christian Brown at the free throw line, he's 1 of 2 on the day. Free throw is good. Second free throw is good. So Brown steps up and makes both free throws. It's 47-30 now in the final 45 seconds. Edwards going to drive. Edwards all the way with strength up, and he was fouled. Edwards upset. He's finishing. He's known to finish with that left hand, unable to finish the last 2 times.
Good strong finish. finish. I know it sounds like a broken record, but I keep talking about Anthony Edwards.
You know, it's something we talked about, I think, off air. You know, how he finishes, the strength that he finishes down there. You know, we like to call that grown man strength. The way he goes to the basket and he takes it to the whole heart, man. You love that out of a kid. Now, I'm with you, Barry. I'm really anxious to see where he's going to be 2 years from now. Once he fully understands what type of player he is and how good he really is.
Check 2 years. I want to see the matchup with him and Brandon Boston again. Mm-hmm. It's senior.
As seniors? Yeah.
As senior.
See,
two good experience. I mean, they'll be 2 years older, 2 years wiser, 2 years stronger.
I hope if Brandon Boston puts on weight, he can be one of the scariest players you'll see.
I'm gonna call it now. I think Boston could be a McDonald's All-Man.
I think he can.
He could definitely be a burger boy. And I know Joe don't like to get into burger boy talk, but it's just something special. You know, when you look at guys, certain guys, they got that look in their eye. And it's him, it's just Anthony Edwards, it's Kyle Sturdivant.
Yeah.
These guys, it's Sharif Cooper.
Landon Nolly,
Isaac Okoro.
Anthony Edwards went up high, and he finishes the quarter strong.
Anthony Edwards.
We go to the fourth quarter, 51-30, a commanding 21-point lead for Holy Spirit over the defending 4A champs in South Carolina, Lower Richland Diamond Hornets on SUV TV.
Introducing Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Sports Motion Analysis, powered by Dartfish, giving parents and young athletes frame-by-frame feedback on how to minimize injury and maximize performance. Upload your videos, visit our clinic, or let our specialists come to you. No matter the sport you play, Children's helps young athletes take their game to the next level.
We resume the fourth quarter here on the SUVTV.com. Holy Spirit prepped the Cougars with a 51-30 lead. They just put up an 18-point third quarter. Lower Richland has a 6-point quarter. And Holy Spirit now turns them over on their first possession. It's 21. It has felt like it has been 31 and sometimes 41 in the matter of the game is gone. And a foul called on the floor. Kamani Johnson had the advantage, but the foul was called on Shakur Tatum McConnell. And McConnell hit with the foul. And it's 1-1 time now, so they're in the bonus.
Looking around the gym, I see the coach from Lambert. Just saw the Hayes brothers, Jarvis and Jonas Hayes, walk in here. Saw Coach from Wheeler, Larry Thompson, rolling around here somewhere. Getting ready to watch this Pebblebrook-Shiloh game, so it should be pretty good.
Free throw, good.
Didn't Pebblebrook beat Wheeler? Am I right?
Yep,
That's right.
They did.
Mm-hmm. Be interested to see Mervyn James and Jarrett Harper and what they'll be able to do. Be interested to see how this Lower Richland team does here on the back end here at the Tournament of Champions. State of South Carolina not particularly heavy this year. At least on the public level.
Not at all. A lot of teams lost a lot to graduation, but Porter Guard looks to be the team from South Carolina that'll carry the mantle.
Well, yeah, Porter Guard I think overall is pretty good. I mean, they've got a pretty good lineage there. Burns won their state championship a little while ago, and that was still I'm famed and fabbled about that one. Nice drive, up and in, and scores. Look at that. Michael Mead finally into the scorebook, his first field goal. Oh! Christian Brown landed hard. He went up high and far, fell hard, 55-30. The gym, though, now, or the arena, is trying to find a little buzz to it.
You know, speaking of South Carolina, we'll be in South Carolina tomorrow at the FBI the Farm Bureau Insurance Classic at Dorman High School. I don't like to call it Dorman High School. I like to call that place Dorman University. We'll be there at the Dorman Arena. We'll be there for the next 3 days. Joel, Barry, you guys will be down here at Tournament of Champions. But we'll get to see quite a few, some of those upstate teams from South Carolina taking on a few Atlanta teams. Got a team coming out of Wisconsin is going to play. We got a lot of teams going to be in that Dorman Arena at the Farm Bureau Insurance Classic.
Memorial's coming, and let's watch that Providence squad out of Florida.
Yeah.
And, of course, you've got your Spartanburg, then your Dorman and your Burns, of course. But that Providence squad has got something in the cooker. And then your squad from D.C., name escapes me right now. Gadsden Day from North Carolina will be there. On the break, layup, it fell in good. A field goal now for Tatum McConnor. Shaquem Tatum McConnor, his first field goal.
It'll be interesting to see what Norcross does up there as well.
I think they'll win it. There's a drive, and Johnson scores.
Is that your prediction?
It's not really yes.
Well, it's going to be two brackets. It'll be the American bracket and the national bracket. They got a Newton's going up there also. Newton and Peachtree Ridge. They'll be up there.
A 3-ball from Christian Brown. Brown, by the way, if you're keeping score at home now, has 19 points in the contest. Anthony Edwards, conversely, has 18. So there's your star power matchup, 557. Yeah, I saw the brackets. I can't remember, but Norcross going to win their bracket, and Newton going to win their bracket.
Well, the one thing, though, when you go up there in Dorman, what every Georgia team says, you're not only playing against the team, you got to play against those other three fellas on the court, too, when you're playing some of those upstate schools.
The disclaimer is the opinions voiced by Sylvester Williams, Slider Sports Guy, do not reflect those of SUV TV or myself.
Hey,
I'm
telling you what all the Georgia teams tell me every year. We can go back to Dwight Howard.
I done sat up there. I don't know. I know.
Javaris Critton.
I know. I know. I know. I saw one team shoot 62 free throws. I know. And lose. I know. Against a team that, if it was played and called the right way, it's a 40-point game. I'm aware of that. But I don't want to take away from the young men that are going there and from the viewers that are going to pay attention here. I think I did enough of that in the Blanche Eli game here before. 5:39 to go in the fourth quarter of a 21-point contest, a steal. Now he goes behind the back. There's a hesitation. It's not there, so a spin back into the corner. And he's trapped ball, jump ball. Good job by Anthony Edwards to come in there.
Speaking of that Blanche Eli Meadow Creek game, I saw Jameer Chapman go up for a reverse dunk.
Did you see they hit him with a technical?
They hit him with a tech on that one. I saw, you can't call a tech on one of ooh.
Christian Brown with the stealing punch. A timeout call to cut it to 19 with 5:24. Lower Richland has 2 timeouts remaining and 5:24.
But I must admit, Joe, that reverse dunk wouldn't have looked anything like me. I would have pulled up on the rim and slapped the backboard while I was up there before I came down. That's how I do. I used to. Got bad knees in my older days.
All right.
Hey. It's a rim rocker.
Sylvester Williams, Barry Browner, Joel Hilsman, Shiloh and Pebblebrook next here on DSUV TV's coverage of the Tournament of Champions. We're in the perch in the angle looking at it all NBA Live style. 98, 97, 95. There's a drive. Dunk it home. Kalani Johnson with the dunk. That's funny how that happened.
He was inspired. He heard me talking about how I used to get up in my younger days. Young man wanted to show he can do it too.
Oh, the SUV TV family is absolutely amazing. 6 point by Tatum McConnor as he scores. back on the break. They leave it off, and there's a turnover, and now here comes Corey Richardson. Richardson up ahead on the break and gives it off on the left to Flood. Now there's a drive and a layup again now by Tatum McConnell.
And let's talk about this 440.
Ant-Man with it on. Anthony Edwards. Leaked out with 4.5 to go.
Holy smokes, Ant-Man.
Kick it to the top. Brown wide open in the backside. They did not see him. Now they run through the cuts. Now spins it back. Stops. There's a 3 ball on the way. Good. He rattled it home. Christian Brown now just beginning to fill up the book.
Christian Brown's not going out without a fight. I can tell y'all that much.
Oh, no, he's too much of a competitor.
Couple other guys.
Edwards goes, stops, jumper, hill of the rim. No, Giorgio should have got a tech for that.
And you know what? While we were impressed with Giorgio on Saturday, Giorgio hadn't done much as far as scoring, but other things. He's done a couple of other things.
He's been effective.
Right.
But at the same time, he hadn't really had to do anything because they've gone zone a lot, and Lower Richland has not attacked the zone. He catches that, goes up, got smacked across the face. They didn't call it. He scores his second field goal. He has 4 points.
Ooh. Christian Brown, downtown Brown.
As the great Marv Albert says, he's pouring it on in garbage time. Edwards! Ant-Man, I can help you too now. Ant-Man with the booming dunk, 64-48. Kick it to the corner, stop, a long 2, foot on the line. Came out, no. Rebound, tipped and out of bounds.
So, Joe, in this game, if he's Ant-Man, is Kamani Johnson Robin?
Yes. Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Absolutely. Because Kamani Johnson has had a wonderful day, 7, 12, 14, 16, 18 points. Long pass, tip. Here's Christian Brown. Brown between the rings, and now he'll peel it back out with the left hand. We go under 3 minutes to go, 65-48. Holy Spirit has led from the tip.
See, now if you're Brown, you got to come and take it back. They're playing your man-to-man defense.
There's the cut off the window, knowing he was fouled. On the cut, Kelvin Hughes. Hughes has 1 point on the day. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
You know, the greedy person in me right now, I want to see Christian Brown just get greedy right now. They're playing man-to-man defense. You're down by a whole lot. I just want to see the young man get greedy, see what can happen these last 2 minutes.
Back iron, no good. So Hughes, we talked about Holy Spirit now. Lower Richland has not been that wonderful from the foul line today as well. Hughes splits them. Four of 6 here in the second half. So in the contest, they are 6 of 10, 60%. Foul call with 2:38 to go. Cheeseboro picks up the foul, 65-49. And Giorgio Maslenikoff at the free throw line.
Just Holy Spirit right now, just flexing their muscles.
Free throw, no good, unable to finish it. Jumper, no, tip, rebound.
Good
Anthony
hustle.
Edwards with the save. Here comes Johnson. Johnson over to Giorgio. Giorgio goes up, got blocked, no call. Stop, there's a jumper, no good. Rebound, up, no. Rebound gonna come out, Jeremiah. Here comes Ant-Man. Anthony Edwards, windmill, dunks it home on the break. Anthony Edwards. There's a drive, not there. And on the floor there's a foul. 67-49, 1:58 to go in the fourth quarter.
Look at that young man. He's just punishing the rim right now. It's pure punishment.
It's your Tournament of Champions SUV TV instant replay.
Utility belt in hand.
Shiloh and Pebblebrook coming up next here from the Tournament of Champions on SUV TV.
And what do you guys see from Shiloh, this Pebblebrook game?
You know, for me, I think Shiloh, everything about Shiloh just revolves around Elias King and seeing what he can do with the ball. But Pebblebrook, they are a really good team. Pebblebrook's a really good team, and they really surprised me. A lot of people, including myself, thought that they would completely fall off without Colin Sexton and Drew Jennings. And Jared Jones left. But Pebblebrook is still there.
You know what? Pebblebrook, watched them play earlier in the season at Hoops Giving against Newton. Thought they were pretty good. Mervyn James, Dwight Murray, Young Harper, Jalen Harper shoots the basketball well. Shiloh on the other hand, probably they're a disappointment. I understand that you got 11 transfers. You bring in Toriano Lane, who's probably the best player who was at Parkview. Bring in the Spencer brothers. You bring back Elias King, who was at Huntington Prep. Watch them play against Buford, and I just, and then in the region that they're in, that's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. In the famous words of Danny Green, Danny Green, they are
a little bit more fun.
2 seconds. I don't know if they beat. I don't know where they're gonna finish at in the region. They already took a loss. They took a loss to Archer.
Yeah, that hurt. God, that hurt.
Archer.
If it was football, I could understand, but not basketball.
But not Archer basketball. So I'm just thinking. Look, I don't know if they can beat Grayson.
No, they can't beat Grayson.
Who?
Yeah.
Shiloh?
Listen,
I love Kim Rivers. I respect Kim Rivers. Kim Rivers' basketball team is very inconsistent. Don't have no chemistry this year.
They won't beat Newton. I don't know. South Gwinnett. So now you got South Gwinnett, Rockdale, and Archer to get into the playoffs. Then if you get into the playoffs.
That's not stiff, though.
But then if you get into the playoffs, and Joe doesn't like me about this all the time, about hypotheticals. I think hypothetical. I'm thinking, what if you don't get one or two?
Or Richland will get out of that region. Hypothetically.
You sure about? Yeah.
Think about who you named.
Archer,
South Gwinnett, and Rockdale. Lower Richland is better than them. South Gwinnett, they use the heart, hustle, and muscle theory, but they're very stagnant on offense as well. Archer is just
Archer.
Yeah, they're just Archer. They're not.
Yeah. And
Rockdale
has a history, but right now it's not there.
You know what? Rockdale.
Lower Richland. Corey Richardson is your half. And today, 4 points from your half.
So my question, again I say to you, where do you see Shiloh finishing in that region? They can't beat Grayson, and they can't beat Newton.
I'm going to just say they're a playoff team.
But the top 4 make the playoffs.
That's a playoff team. I know they're not 1. I know they're not 2. At that point, you're just a playoff team. Jeremiah, back-to-back steals again. Lost it out of bounds, final 20 seconds.
But the misleading thing about that statement, they're a playoff team. When you hear a playoff team, you think, okay, well, they're a pretty decent team.
That's not misleading.
That's misleading to me. It makes it sound like they're better than what they are.
No, they are. Heck, they might be. They might not be a playoff team. That's what me and Barry are almost saying here. They're coming up next. We're giving Shiloh a little bit too much love. Holy Spirit in a rout, 74-55 over Lower Richland. It was a pleasure seeing Christian Brown and the Miracles, as Barry put it. Sylvester Williams, Mary Brown, and Joel Hillman. Quickly, let's see.